guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be making some eggless non-alcoholic black cake. I had a request for this, so let's get started. Here I have some all-purpose flour, some blended fruit. I'll be using some salted butter, and I have some browning sauce. Here are my spices: cinnamon, clove, and nutmeg. I have some baking powder, brown and white sugar. I have some orange zest, and I'll be using some vanilla extract and almond extract. So for the fruit, I have here some cranberries, some cherries, prunes, and some raisins. You could use whatever fruit you prefer in your cake, but these are the ones I'm using today. So what you want to do is add some hot grape juice to this, and you want to allow it to sit for about 30 minutes. The fruit will plump up and they'll become nice and tender, and then we can go ahead and blend it. So because we are not infusing alcohol into the fruit, we don't need to soak it for a very long time. Once it becomes nice and tender, we can go ahead and blend. Now I'm using my hand blender to blend this, but feel free to use a regular blender. You can blend to your desired texture. If you want it super smooth, you can do that. If you want it chunky, go ahead and do it to suit your own preference. Once we are done, this is how it should be looking. Now we can go ahead and start prepping our cake. Next, we'll combine all of our dry ingredients. We'll add our baking powder and the spices to the flour, mix the combine, and set that aside. Now today I'm using salted butter for the recipe, so I won't be using any salt. But if you're using unsalted butter, I advise you to add about a half or a quarter teaspoon of salt to the recipe. We will add the sugar to the butter and we will mix it until it's light and fluffy. Then I'll show you all the next step. Once the sugar and the butter is nice and fluffy, we'll go ahead and add our vanilla extract, almond extract, and our orange zest. We'll mix well, and then we'll add our fruit into this. Next, you want to add your fruit, and feel free to add as much or as little as you like. I would put the correct measurements that I use down in my description box. But remember, if you want a dense cake, you need to add a good amount of fruit into it. If you want your cake more like cakey and fluffy, you will add less fruit into it. So once the fruit is added, we'll mix the combine, and then we will go in with our browning sauce. Now you can add color to suit your own preference. Y'all know me, I don't like my cake too dark, so I will just add a little bit here, mix it in, and then we'll start adding our flour. You want to add the flour a little at a time and just fold it in until it's just combined. Do not overmix your batter. So there's this one ingredient I forgot to mention that I was supposed to add, and it's some cornstarch and water. Now this is going to bind the cake together, so we will add it in now. You know, I completely forgot this till the last minute, and now I'm adding it in here. But you would usually add this when you add your fruit and stuff. You would add that in, and then you would add your flour mixture last. So now we will fold that in, and we will get ready to transfer this into our baking pan. Like usual, I am using my 9-inch cake pan with some parchment paper. We will add the batter into it. Now, if your batter seems a bit too dry, you can always add some grape juice. Whatever juice you're using, you can add that to loosen it up. But I like my cake batter to be a bit on the firm side. I don't like it too runny because then it takes a long time to bake. So now we will place this in a 285-degree oven for about 2 hours. And you always want to put your water bath at the bottom rack, and then you place this on the middle rack. and we will bake it for 2 hours, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like. So this is what the cake looks like after 2 hours and 10 minutes. And what we'll do here is go ahead and just poke some holes all over the cake because we want to saturate it with some grape juice. And in order for the grape juice to seep down into the cake, you want to poke those holes in it. Now, sometimes you may have cracks in your cake. If you bake it exactly how I do mine, you won't have the cracks. But just say you have cracks in there, then you might not need to poke the holes because the cracks will, allow the grape juice to seep down in there. So now we'll go in with that grape juice, saturate it real well, and we'll allow this to cool down completely before we slice into it. So now let's cut into the cake and see what it looks like on the inside. Black cake in general is just, the smell. The smell, you just can't resist it. All those spices and the flavors from the fruit, it just comes right through. And voila, this is what it looks like, guys. It looks perfect. It looks very dense, decadent, and moist, just how I like my black cake. I hope you all give this recipe a try. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it, and leave a comment down below. I will leave all the ingredients and measurements that I use down in my description box, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support, and enjoy.